Hey guys, welcome to my video demonstration on how to fill out the new Texas Buyer's Tenant Representation Agreement short form. So I have done a video on the long form, but today I wanted to review how to fill out the short form. Now there's not a whole lot really to fill out on this thing. It's a one pager. It's pretty self-explanatory, although I will go through it. But this is a form that really warrants more conversation than a demonstration on how to fill it out. But let's go ahead and fill this out anyway. So for the sake of time, I have put in my client's name along with the brokerage's name. Before I go any further, if you are watching this outside of White Rock Realty and you want a list of all the forms that are necessary for both a listing, a buyer, and I actually have the necessary forms for a lease and condo. I am more than happy to send these to you. And you can either call me, text me at that phone number, email me. And as always, please visit whiterocktexas.info to find out more about White Rock Realty. Okay. So getting back to the short form, paragraph 3, this is where you would put in where you're going to show people homes. So I think at one point there were people putting in really vague terms like the entire state of Texas. And we don't want to do that. We want to be specific, but we want to also use terminology that would cover us, right? And so it does give examples. So you can put in either a property address, a subdivision name, a city, a county, zip code, whatever. I always recommend putting in counties. And so maybe if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, maybe you put in Dallas, Tarrant, Collin, and Denton counties. All right, and that will pretty much cover you. And the term, I like to give a pretty generous amount of time to both find a home that the buyer likes and wants and time enough to close. So I'm going to give a good 6 months here so that they have enough time. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So in paragraph 5, there are two options. One is I, as the buyer's agent, am going to provide full service, right? And it even says broker will use broker's best efforts to assist client in the acquisition of property in the market area. And if that is the case, you're going to need to come down here and tell them what the fee is to do that. And so just like the long form, a pretty good example would be 3%. You could do a flat fee. Don't be afraid to, do that. You can do that for sure. And then it says when it's earned and payable, right? And source of payment. We're going to try and get it from the seller, landlord, their agents. But if they don't pay, then you, the client, are on the hook. Okay, so not at all very different from the long form. So why does this form even exist? Well, because you and I both know that, let's say, for an example, you meet a client at an open house and they want to go see a home. You might not be sure if they're fully qualified yet, but through the relationship building process, you agree to go show them a home. Well, the challenge is that post NAR settlement, we can't do that without something in writing. And so this form gives you the option to just do a showing and just leave it at that. Now, I'll tell you that if you choose this, then you can't do anything. You can't write an offer. You can't provide an opinion. You can't give guidance. You can't do anything but literally open the door and maybe read off the MLS printout, whatever is there, right? So for that, you're going to charge a fee. And you're going to have to determine how many houses you're going to go see within that period of time. So we're going to have to back up because the time commitment is now changed. So let's say that they want to go out this Saturday and you agree to show them, whoops. You agree to show them as many homes as you can see in that day. So you've noticed that I've kept that time frame to 1 day because I don't want to give away my time and my services. So I'm going to say if we can see 1 home or 21 homes, it doesn't matter. But for that, I'm going to charge you $750, whatever you want to charge. Now the challenge is that that money has to be paid to your broker because the client cannot pay the agent directly, as it's always been in Texas. Okay. But the bigger point is you don't want to give away your time. So this is not based on the number of homes, it's based on time frame with regards to what you're going to charge. So my advice is to always get to the long form as quickly as you possibly can, because then the client isn't out any money. But listen, I mean, I think we've all been there. We'll get a random call from somebody that says, I have an agent, I can't get a hold of them, I need to go see this home, and I need to get in there. And that's kind of where this would apply. It would also apply, again, if you were in the rapport building stage and you were willing to at least do some showings for this person for a fee, not really knowing if it was going to go anywhere. Now, let's say that this client signs the short form and you don't know if it's going to go anywhere. You show them a couple of homes and all of a sudden they fall in love with a home and they want to write an offer. Well, you're going to have to get them into the long form as quickly as possible, right? So for that offer writing / full service suite of offerings, you're going to have to sign the long form agreement. So the question becomes, well, why wouldn't you just use the long form for all these things? And that's correct. However, post NAR settlement, we can't show a home without something in writing, and that's kind of what this is for. Okay. The long form is, I think, 5 pages long. It covers a lot of stuff. You don't want to cut corners. This 1-pager does not cover what you need to cover. Okay. It does say intermediary. Client does or does not want to go see homes that are listed by the same brokerage, same as the long form, but that's kind of where it stops. But the main point is that this is now a requirement to even get in the car and go show a home. So you either have the short form or the long form. Okay. So that's that. So this is a sample. It will be on our website if you're a White Rock agent. If you're not, I will be more than glad to send this to you. And that concludes our video on the short form.